Elections in Pakistan have been stolen. The parliamentary and provincial elections of 8th February 2024 were rigged. Losers were made the winners, winners were made the losers. So has this happened for the first time in Pakistan? If it has, then has it happened at this scale ever before? Who is to blame for this farce? Is democracy dead or alive in Pakistan? Are Pakistani institutions ready for democracy? And what happens now? Will a coalition of rejected political parties form the government at the center, only to act as puppets of the powerful military establishment? And what exactly is the real motive of the Pakistan Army behind orchestrating a rigged election? Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's connect the dots of Pakistan's stolen election. We told you so. In this episode of Connecting the Dots, we told you that Imran Khan and his party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI, were the villains in this election for the Pakistan Army. They were disqualified from the ballot. PTI was robbed of its election symbol, a cricket bat. Its candidates were forced to run as independents. Just a week before the polls, Imran Khan was sentenced on charges of corruption and for being in an un-Islamic marriage. These are just some of the several charges slapped on him. He stands convicted in some cases too. The army thought it had managed to make Imran Khan and PTI unelectable. Nawaz Sharif was Pakistan Army's blue-eyed boy, the hot favorite for whom the army laid out the red carpet as he returned from exile in London. Pakistan Army even acted in cahoots with the judiciary so as to clear the decks for a fourth term for Nawaz Sharif as Pakistan's Prime Minister. But for the Pakistan Army, the election did not go to plan. The outcome was meant to be a predetermined selection, and the election was only meant to be a formality. But the voters of Pakistan had other plans. This is how it played out. A political party needs 133 seats for a simple majority in the 265-seat National Assembly. No political party got a majority. It was a hung verdict. But PTI-backed independents emerged as the clear favourites of the electorate. Nawaz Sharif's PMLN was a distant second, followed by Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's PPP. So much to the annoyance of the Pakistan Army, the people of Pakistan pulled up a surprise. Voters disrupted Pakistani deep state's plan for a smooth Nawaz Sharif coronation. So this means that the Pakistan Army cannot just not win a war. They can't even install their favorite puppet in government easily anymore. Pakistan Army got a good taste of its own unpopularity and of people's power. The people of Pakistan cocked a snook at the Pakistan Army. Yes, they thumped their noses at the military establishment. But the Pakistan Army is not used to such a snub from its people, and so it continued to scheme and deceive. Having already bent over backwards to remove all thorns from Nawaz Sharif's ascent to the throne of premiership, the Pakistan Army was not ready to give up on election day. And so it decided to rig the election after the votes were cast, by manipulating the outcome. Rigging was done in the most brazen manner imaginable. Pakistan's military took control of the election commission. It manufactured election results to its liking. This was visible on election day and for several days after that. See this. These two videos posted on PTI's X account created a storm on social media. In these two videos, two journalists can be heard claiming that a private printing press in Lahore was illegally printing ballot papers 10 days after the election on the orders of someone to make Nawaz Sharif win, after he had already lost the election from Mansehra constituency in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. PTI claims this was the printing press of a PMLN member, and the printing was done for a fraudulent recount after Nawaz Sharif appealed to the Election Commission of Pakistan that his full votes were not counted.
बैलेट पेपर्स है, ये सब के सब बैलेट पेपर्स हैं। हम लोग जब यहाँ पे आए, वो रिकॉर्ड डिटेल्ड वीडियो जो है वो भी मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ। जब हम लोग यहाँ पर आए, तो जो यहाँ पर स्टाफ था वो तो कहना आगे स्टार्ट हो गया कि हमें तो भी 2 घंटे पहले ऑर्डर आया और हमने ये छापने शुरू कर दिए। हालांकि बैलेट पेपर कोई भी प्रिंटिंग प्रेस पाकिस्तान का सरकारी प्रिंटिंग प्रेस के अलावा कोई भी प्रिंटिंग प्रेस नहीं छाप सकता। टिप आई थी, टिप के ऊपर काम करते यहाँ पर पहुंचे तो आगे जनाब बिल्कुल ये दिन दिहाड़े यहाँ पर मियां मोहम्मद नवाज शरीफ साहब जो इलेक्शन हार चुके हुए हैं NA15 मानसेरा का, उसका जनाबे वाला यहाँ पर बैलेट पेपर छापे जा रहे हैं।
Even though these videos found their way to social media, the journalists who did the story did not carry the story at all. The editors claimed that the story warranted further digging into the facts of the case. But it is also possible that these journalists were afraid of upsetting the powers that be and hence were browbeaten into not doing the story at all. Be that as it may, PTI and Imran Khan still have these videos on their social media handles. They have also been shared by prominent PTI activists. Another video posted on X by PTI shows burnt ballot papers. In fact, in the run-up to election day, on election day, and for days later, there were internet blackouts. Mobile phone services were also suspended in Pakistan. Amnesty International denounced election day internet shutdown as reckless. It called it a blunt attack on the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. Journalists with mainstream Pakistani television channels said they could not promptly report rigging incidents and other irregularities from the field throughout the day due to the suspension. What's worse, declaration of results was inordinately delayed. Once the first wave of returns showed that independent candidates affiliated with Imran Khan were leading, the next wave of results slowed to a trickle. Pakistan Election Commission's official website suddenly went down on election night, exacerbating fears that election results were being manipulated. It wasn't rocket science to see through what was happening. Pakistan's democracy was being managed in real time. And then, for days on end, the Election Commission of Pakistan did not notify the victory of candidates. And this one takes the cake. A Pakistani poll official makes a damning confession about his own involvement in electoral fraud.
मैंने आज सुबह की नमाज के बाद एक दफा मैंने खुदकुशी करने की कोशिश की है, लेकिन फिर मैंने सोचा कि मैंने क्यों ना ये सारी चीजें अवाम के पास रखूं। तो यहाँ पे हुआ है कि जो लोग आजाद उम्मीदवार 70-80 हजार की लीड से जीत रहे थे, हमने उनको हरवाया है और उनके ऊपर जाली मोहरे लगा के सबको हरवाया।
आपने किसी से कहा कि सब कुछ हो रहा है, गलत हो रहा है, इसको रोका जाए?
देखिए, मैं ये सारी इस गलतकारी की जिम्मेदारी अपने ऊपर ले रहा हूँ और साथ आपको बता रहा हूँ कि जो चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर है, जो चीफ जस्टिस है, वो भी इस काम में पूरे शरीक है।
Yes, you heard that right. This is an insider blowing the whistle on a hugely compromised electoral system. This election official, the commissioner of Rawalpindi, the garrison city where the Pakistan Army is headquartered, says he cannot sleep. He says he attempted suicide because he made 13 losing National Assembly candidates win. He said he did so by personally supervising the switching of 70,000 votes from the winner's kitty to the loser's kitty. He even names the culprits. He says Pakistan's Chief Election Commissioner and Chief Justice of Pakistan are both hand in glove in all this. He says they are the main villains who made the Pakistan election a big farce. Pakistan watchers believe that in Pakistan, any and every act of honesty or propriety or ethical behavior has an ulterior motive or some sinister angle behind it, always. While it is true that Imran Khan has strained relationships with both the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Qazi Faiz Isa, and Chief Election Commissioner, Sikandar Sultan Raja, but the question that arises now is, why was Chattha silent on Pakistan Army's role in rigging the election? Was Chattha doing this to get the Pakistan Army off the hook by only implicating Isa and Raja? This can hardly be surprising. With news of rigging spreading fast and wide, thousands of outraged Pakistani citizens poured out on the streets. There were protests, crackdowns and arrests.
We are here on our leaders' call for countrywide protests. What has happened to us, what has happened to the nation of Pakistan is bigger than theft and robbery. In the February 8 election, PTI won 200 plus seats with a majority during the day. But the results were changed overnight. We are here against this theft.
Supreme Court lawyers who spoke their mind against election rigging were not spared either. After Chattha's confession, restrictions were placed on the use of X in Pakistan. A plausible reason for it could be this. Pakistani authorities wanted to contain the damage caused by Chattha's claims, and hence they opted for internet censorship. But voices calling out the election were not just confined to Pakistan. The United States, European Union and United Kingdom, all of them called out the election as neither fair nor free.
When it comes to the any claims of interference or allegations of irregularities, we want to see those fully investigated.
Though the US State Department also had egg on its face for calling the elections clearly competitive twice in this statement made after Election Day.
It's clear that the elections in Pakistan were competitive.
But should growing evidence and allegations of electoral fraud in Pakistan really surprise us? See this post by Sushant Sareen, a reputed Pakistan watcher based in India. He says, "Never before have I seen people refusing to accept their seats because they were protesting the widespread rigging. Never before have I seen such countrywide protests against a rigged election." This is now spiraling out of control. This is an election that is now even more contentious and controversial than the 1970 polls. So what happened in the 1970 election? Why are parallels being drawn with it? The 1970 election was Pakistan's first direct general election. Pakistan People's Party, led by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, had emerged as the biggest party in West Pakistan. It had won 81 seats there. But in East Pakistan, the Awami League, led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, had won 160 of the 162 seats in the province. Now the prospect of an Awami League government was a threat to politicians in West Pakistan. So these politicians conspired with the military leadership to prevent Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from taking the reins of power. In March 1971, a revolt broke out in East Pakistan. It resulted in another war with India after the 1965 war that Pakistan had lost. Bangladesh was created. So in other words, Pakistan's military establishment chose to muzzle the voice of the people of East Pakistan and ended up losing a large piece of their country. Pakistan broke up. That was the result of Pakistan Army's meddling in the first direct general election in Pakistan. Since then, no general election, no government formation, and no government dismissal has been untouched by manipulation in Pakistan. Those favored by the military establishment always come to power there, and when they don't, the winner's term is cut short, or the government is dismissed, or the leader is removed in a coup, or arrested or exiled, or both arrested and exiled, or assassinated. Every major political party, PMLN or PPP or PTI, has been the military's favorite in an election at some point. And each of them has fallen out of favor with the powerful military too. This cycle has repeated over and over again. So what has this mockery of democracy done to Pakistan? This has meant that none of Pakistan's 30 prime ministers have completed a full term in office in the history of Pakistan. Not even one. But amid such repeated electoral frauds and manipulation perpetrated by the military establishment in Pakistan, it is the voter who deserves a special mention. The Pakistani voter needs to be applauded for 1, voting despite the cynicism of a predetermined outcome, and 2, for voting against the preferred choice of the army, knowing fully well from past elections that their vote may not be even counted. Unfortunately for the people of Pakistan, their institutions are not ready for democracy yet. This general election is only the latest instance of how the judiciary, the election commission and sections of the media either succumb to the will of the military or become willing collaborators. So what happens now in Pakistan? Listen to this.
Now Pakistan People's Party and Muslim League-Nawaz are going to form a government. We are hoping that now, God willing, Shehbaz Sharif will once again become the Prime Minister of the country very soon.
But honestly, the election story from Pakistan was never about who will win the election there. With the mandate stolen through massive rigging and anything but a level playing field allowed, the new civilian government is sure to be a puppet in the hands of the master puppeteer, the Pakistani deep state. If it is not, then its days will be numbered at best, and it will face the military's wrath for sure. So what was this election really about? Well, this election centered on Pakistan's Army Chief General Asim Munir's bid to consolidate his power. It never really mattered who Munir selects to run the front office as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Munir gambled big to put down the immensely popular Imran Khan and rearrange the political field. And now Munir does not look like a man who will walk into the sunset when his term ends in late 2025. So like many of his predecessors, he would want to hold on to power too. So for the Pakistan Army, this election was just drama that it had staged with the prime motive of ensuring that General Munir's reign continues unchallenged for as long as he likes. But that's not the full story. This election also has a lesson for the Pakistan Army. The lesson is that the electorate can never be taken for granted. No matter what propaganda, pre-poll measures or post-poll rigging, 100% predictable outcome can never be a certainty. The least the voter of Pakistan deserves is certainty that they will have food to eat, that they will get the wages for their hard work, that they won't need to beg in other countries to fill their stomachs, that they will be safeguarded from the designs of the ruthless terrorist groups that are Pakistan's own creation, Frankenstein's monster, and whose representatives were even allowed to try their luck in these elections. We are not even talking here about the major economic challenges facing Pakistan or the IMF bailout, because the situation in Pakistan is so bad that the average citizen there is struggling to meet even her basic day-to-day needs. The least the average citizen of Pakistan deserves is a life of dignity. Is that asking for too much, General Munir? Time for a breather on the show. Coming up after that, what is Sora that has stormed the internet? Is it the next big thing in AI? We explore that next.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Can you guess this movie? Seems like science fiction, huh? No. This is not an excerpt from a movie, but the product of artificial intelligence. US-based startup OpenAI has released a new artificial intelligence system. This system can create realistic-looking videos based on text prompts from users. It means you just need to type a sentence and the AI model will create the video you want. OpenAI has named the tool Sora. The word Sora is of Japanese origin. It means sky. Maybe Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, is inspired by the thought that sky is the limit. However, Sora can create 60-second videos from text prompt. Now the question is, why is Sora generating so much buzz when generating videos from text isn't new? After all, there are many other AI tools available that do the same. The answer may lie in the output. If you see the results shared by OpenAI, the videos generated by Sora look super realistic and detailed. Let's understand it better. Watch this video. It has been created by Sora. As per OpenAI, the prompt for this video reads, "A stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress and black boots and carries a black purse. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick. She walks confidently and casually. The street is damp and reflective, creating a mirror effect of the colorful lights. Many pedestrians walk about." Let me give you some more examples. You may be fascinated by the stories of sea pirates. Now this video shows you two pirate ships fighting each other inside a cup of coffee. Yes, you heard that right. Do you want to see how Lagos in Nigeria looks after 30 years? Sora creates this video for the prompt that reads, "A beautiful homemade video showing the people of Lagos, Nigeria in the year 2056, shot with a mobile phone camera." Sora not just takes you into the future, it also takes you back to history. This video is the result of a text prompt that asked Sora to create historical footage of California during the gold rush. And it seems nothing less than a periodic movie. So how does Sora create video from text? Sora is built on generative AI. Generative AI is a branch of AI that can create something new. The examples of generative AI are chatbots like ChatGPT and image creators like DALL-E. These AI models use deep learning methods to generate text responses or digital images from natural language descriptions called prompts. So in simple language, earlier OpenAI was offering you to steer a conversation and text-based results through ChatGPT. Then came DALL-E, which gave you realistic images from your text. And now it is Sora offering you videos. Sora is trained on videos and images of various durations, resolutions, and aspect ratios. OpenAI claims that Sora is capable of generating complex scenes with multiple characters, with specific types of motion and precise details of the subject and background. The company says the model cannot only understand the user's instructions, but it is also capable of understanding how these things would look in the real world. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman took to X, once known as Twitter, and asked for some prompt ideas from users. A user suggested two golden retrievers podcasting on top of a mountain as a prompt. And this is what Sora made. Cred founder Kunal Shah asked for a video on this prompt. A bicycle race on the ocean with different animals as athletes riding the bicycles with drone camera view. Although the videos produced by Sora depict incredibly detailed scenes, OpenAI says that there are still some limitations like spatial and cause and effect elements. For example, Sora generated this video given this prompt. Step printing scene of a person running, a cinematic film shot in 35 mm. But what can you see is the person running on the treadmill in the opposite direction. Or in this video, the grandma is celebrating her birthday, but the candles are not blown out. Now, because of these flaws, Sora is not available for public use as yet. The software is currently accessible for Red Team members only. So who are these Red Team members, you might ask? Well, these are experts in areas such as misinformation, hateful content and bias. They examine such areas for potential problems or risks. So what does OpenAI plan to do next with Sora? Well, OpenAI says it is engaging with policymakers, artists, designers and filmmakers to get feedback to enhance the model. As we said earlier, Sora is not alone in this space. Google recently unveiled its multimodal AI tool, Lumia, for video generation. Meta has a model called Emu. And Runway AI is already building a product to help filmmakers create videos. While this technology could speed up the creative process, there are also concerns that AI is a threat to the livelihoods of artists and designers. You don't have to go too far to understand why. The recent Hollywood strikes are a stark reminder of the anxieties around AI's potential impact on creative professions, particularly in screenwriting and similarities in appearances of actors. Now, video creating tools like Sora raise new questions. There is also the issue of unauthorized usage of contents by the AI models. Sora's launch comes amidst lawsuits filed by the New York Times against OpenAI and its partner Microsoft. The lawsuits allege copyright infringement over the use of its content to train ChatGPT. Further, there are concerns over misuse of AI tools to create deep fakes and spread misinformation. Now, with major elections looming in different parts of the world, concerns over deep fakes are only spreading across the globe. Governments worldwide are still lagging behind in coming up with comprehensive regulations for AI and for addressing its potential risks. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for a global framework to ensure the ethical use of artificial intelligence. The Indian government is already working on a draft regulatory framework for artificial intelligence. While the European Union has taken a pioneering step by adopting the first ever AI regulations in December 2023, it will take another 2 years before they come into effect. So in this age of AI, what really needs to be done for the benefit and security of all? Well, the development of powerful AI tools like Sora necessitates a global conversation about 1. Ethical considerations, 2. Responsible development, and 3. Robust regulations, so that this technology benefits humanity without jeopardizing creativity, privacy, and security. The future of video creation is here, but the question is, are we ready? So that's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues that touch our lives and imagination. Goodbye from all of us from the Delhi newsroom. Take care. Stay safe.